Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're creating a playbook for anyone who's ever felt stuck on the freelancer hamster wheel. We're going to break down how you can go from the daily grind to some real, sustainable growth by winning better work, managing it like a pro, and, most importantly, keeping more of the money you earn.
You know, so many of us jump into freelancing for that promise of freedom, right? Be your own boss, set your own hours. But let's be honest, that dream can get buried fast under this mountain of proposals, contracts, and looming deadlines. Pretty soon, you realize you're stuck working in your business, not on it. And that, my friends, is a one-way ticket to burnout. So in this explainer, we're going to tackle the three critical parts of your playbook. First, winning the right kind of work. Second, mastering your workflow so it doesn't master you. And third, maximizing what you actually take home. Okay, let's dive right in.
First things first, let's talk about getting better clients. Look, the secret to a better freelance business isn't just about being good at what you do. It's about making sure you're fishing in the right pond. A ton of freelancers start out on those giant, high-competition platforms. But here's the problem. When you have thousands of people bidding for the same job, it just becomes a race to the bottom on price. On the flip side, smaller, low-competition platforms have some serious strategic advantages, like clients who are looking for specialists and way fewer people to compete against. And yeah, this chart really shows you what that means for your bank account. I mean, look at this. On a platform that takes a 15% cut, you lose $1,500 on a $10,000 project. That's just gone before you even think about taxes. On a commission-free platform, that money stays where it belongs, with you. And it isn't just about the fees, not at all. It turns out freelancers who are strategic about where they find work earn on average 40 to 60% more. Why? Because the clients on these specialized platforms aren't just looking for the cheapest option. They're looking for an expert to come in and solve a very specific and usually very expensive problem for them. So what's the actual strategy here? Well, first, target niche platforms built for your industry. Second, specialize aggressively. Don't just be a web developer. Be a headless commerce specialist. See how much more focused that is? You've instantly cut out 90% of your competition. And finally, when you write your proposals, focus on the business value and the return on investment you provide, not just the hours you're going to bill. Okay, so you've landed that great new client. Awesome. Now what? Well, you have to manage the work without letting the administrative stuff take over your entire life. Because trust me, if you don't have a system, the admin work will absolutely swallow you whole. Does any of this look familiar? Yeah, these are the classic warning signs of workflow chaos. You know the feeling, tasks are slipping through the cracks, deadlines just pop up out of nowhere, and you're not really sure where your time is going. That leads to bad invoices, lost money, and maybe worst of all, it puts your client's trust at risk. The Fix is a good project management tool. But here's a secret that most tools get totally wrong for freelancers. They treat time tracking like some little feature or an afterthought. No! For a solo business, time tracking is the core. It is the absolute foundation for realistic planning, accurate invoices, and knowing exactly how much more work you can handle. And this table breaks it down perfectly. There's really a tool for every style. If you're someone who loves to plan your work around hard data, a tool like Toggl Focus is going to be perfect. If you're more visual thinker, Trello's drag-and-drop boards are like digital sticky notes. And if you run really structured projects with a lot of moving parts, something like Asana is going to be your best friend. All right, let's get to the best part, making sure you actually keep as much of your hard-earned money as possible. This all comes down to smart financial management. Because remember, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Okay. Let's play a little game. I'm going to show you a number that is absolutely crucial for any freelancer who meets with clients or travels for work. The first one is 50%. Any guesses? That's right, that's the portion of a business-related meal you can typically deduct from your taxes. Every single coffee meeting, every lunch with a client, half of that is a business expense. You have got to track this stuff. All right, on to the next number. This one is an absolute game changer if you're just getting your freelance business off the ground. $5,000. Think about that for a second. This is the maximum amount of startup costs you can deduct in your very first year of business. So things like registering your company, getting a logo designed, buying essential software, it all counts. It's a huge tax break right when you need it most. And for our last number, this one might be the most important one of all for every single self-employed professional in the US. 100%. This is massive. If you are self-employed and you have to buy your own health insurance, you can deduct 100% of the premiums you pay for yourself, your spouse, and your dependents. This is honestly one of the most valuable deductions available to freelancers, period.
And don't stop there. Make sure you're tracking all of these other common expenses. Your home office, the miles you drive for business, at 67 cents a mile for 2024, by the way, a portion of your internet and phone bills, software, and office supplies. Every single deduction lowers your tax bill and puts more money back in your pocket.
So let's bring it all home. Building a freelance business that actually delivers that freedom you've been looking for, it really just boils down to this simple three-part formula. Win better work, manage it efficiently, and keep more of what you earn. That's the playbook. So there you have it, the Freelancer's Playbook. All the strategies are laid out for you. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?